We basically recorded this back in like 2017. So
Today we are going to the happiest place on earth.
What up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Jam Talk. Today we're going to talk about some Disneyland memories.
Yes, it's true. We've been to Disneyland quite a bit. And I mean, first off, if you haven't been to Disneyland, I recommend everybody try it like once because it's awesome. It is pretty pricey, but you get what you pay for. I mean, as far as amusement parks go, it's like 10 levels above anything else there is. Like,
Just any Disney park, generally. They go out of their way to make the place as clean as possible.
As perfect as possible, not just clean. Like, they do everything to a perfection point.
And it shows. It's a good experience, a good place. Chances are, if you stick a piece of gum and you just like hide it in a ride or something, or under a piece of the table, like under some random table, it'll be gone the next day.
Whoa. Didn't know that. Have you tried that? No, I just heard about that.
Just heard about it.
I've heard of people throwing things in bushes and hiding them in bushes,
And they're found and thrown away.
yeah.
That's awesome.
The night workers who clean the place at night and in the mornings have to check all those places. That's great. Well, so we've gone to Disneyland a bunch, just as kids. I went before I was even born. Mom was pregnant
the
with me.
womb.
I was at Disneyland.
That kind of sucks. You can't really do much when you're pregnant there, though, can
I
you?
don't know.
Because they don't let you on very many rides.
No, I'm sure some of the rides will be okay though, like the ones that don't really move fast or anything. That you're just like riding through
Like
the
Small
movie.
World?
Yeah, Small World. It's a small world. So, what are some memories that you have of the rest of Disneyland?
Well, fortunately for us, it's easier for us to remember things from Disneyland, simply because our dad recorded every vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to pull up any of that footage just because there's so much. I wouldn't be able to look through it all.
It's true. There's a lot.
Yeah. So, but something I remember in particular. What was your favorite ride?
I really liked the Buzz Lightyear
Astro Blasters?
Astro Blasters. Because it was like you were in a video game, but you were in it.
I remember when that first came out. Yeah, we were there when it like first came out.
Yeah.
It was like brand new.
Long line.
Oh yeah, huge line. But it was so cool. We're like, whoa. There's a little in front of the line. They have a little fake Buzz Lightyear thing with a moving face. We're like, whoa, how'd they do that? And they literally just put a screen on some.
It was like they project the face onto a head, and it's an animatronic Buzz Lightyear, but his face is animated. It was really cool. Very, very good tech.
So something I remember in particular, because for me, my favorite ride was Haunted Mansion. But I'm pretty sure you were like traumatized by that ride.
I hate that ride. I still don't like that ride.
I remember, I don't know if I just liked it because like I felt cool liking it because no one else in the family really wanted to go on it, you know? Like except for Dad. Everyone's like, no, I don't want to go on that. And then I'm like, I'll do it. Like trying to be the brave guy or something. I'm not sure. That's probably what I was doing.
I'm just not a scary things
But
person.
the thing is, that ride isn't supposed to be like, okay, the beginning of it is supposed to be scary, right?
Yes.
The end of it, they want to end you on a happy note. So they have the ghosts being all fun, you know, like, oh, telling jokes.
Yeah.
And part of that is because the first half and the second half of the ride were, like, designed by different people.
Oh, interesting.
And the reason the outside of the park doesn't, like, the outside of that ride doesn't look so, like, old and haunting looking is because they wanted it to look inviting.
Interesting.
But what I remember in particular is you were so traumatized by this ride that just hearing this, like any like relation or song to it you would go nuts. Like crying.
Oh.
Do you remember
I
The Incredibles on Ice?
No.
The Incredibles on ice. We went and watched the show. It's in like it's like 30 minutes from our hometown in Washington. And so we went to this, and the Incredibles go to Disneyland. Yay, like on ice. So they like reenact all the rides. And then they get to the Haunted Mansion. They start playing the music, and the creepy girl who's like, hurry back, you know? And you start crying. I think you're like 10 or 12.
I don't remember that.
You like
Oh, my
had
goodness.
to walk out for that part. I'm like, oh my goodness. I didn't realize it was
And
that
that's
big
why
of a
Max
deal.
liked it, because he's like, I'm so cool. I didn't
I'm
cry.
so cool.
I didn't cry
cry.
for Incredibles on ice.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember
That's
that.
probably a good thing.
Yeah, I tried to block that memory out, I guess. I don't know. That's funny. Because I really didn't like that ride, and it was because
Oh,
of
yeah.
that creepy girl. Because
At the very end of the ride,
'Cause
I told
there's
you to
this-
hurry back.
no, there's a scene that girl is there.
Is that the one that chops off all their husbands' heads or something?
Yes, where you're in and it's like playing like Here Comes the Bride, and then all of the paintings.
The thing about that is that wasn't in the original ride. That was a new addition.
Yeah.
That was added later.
So all the paintings turn into just the bride, and then the husband with a head chopped off, and it's super creepy. Very, very not my thing. I don't like stuff like that.
But I don't know. I thought it was cool. I like all the special effects. I'm in for the special effects, really.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they
like,
do.
wow, that ghost looks so real.
So they do a really good job with their animatronics. I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, it's not like a clear robot dancing and singing to you or whatever. If you're on a ride, they go all out. I mean, I'm trying to think of a good example. The Buzz Lightyear one's really cool. If you're on the Star Wars ride or like the Indiana Jones ride, I mean, they've got like a full wax figure of Indiana Jones, or like rubber plastic robot
You
that
should have
looks
seen
exactly
Walt
like
Disney
him.
World Ellen. It was horrible.
Really?
Ellen's wax figure looked like it had been wrecked.
Oh, dang. Oh, that's too bad.
it looked hideous.
Yeah,
Ugh.
so they generally do a really good job.
It probably looked really good when it first came out, because, I don't know, Ellen changed over time, you know?
Yeah.
Her looks. Maybe it looked a little bit like her.
Ellen's gotten better looking, is what you're saying.
Apparently. Well, I also think that animatronic was just in bad condition and
Yeah.
needed to be fixed.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Is like Disneyland is an interesting place because it's so old. I mean, it's been around for so long that some of those rides are like good 40 years old, you know, and they haven't really changed. Some of them they've updated.
I like the update to Small World. They added Disney characters to it, remember?
Yeah. Well, before that, it was just creepy dolls, man. We're just talking about scary stuff. We should talk about good stuff. No.
Okay. Do you remember the bathroom?
I do remember the bathroom. That one has never been. I've never been able to live this story down.
Yeah.
So Dad records the whole trip to Disneyland, and you know he likes to be fun, and so he brought the camera into the bathroom where I was using the bathroom. Now there's no he didn't film me in the bathroom or anything.
I don't even know why. This isn't even really that funny.
No.
It's just funny because we're like so young. that,
Yes.
Like, aha,
Yes.
bathroom.
So he's recording. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing in there? What's taking you so long?" And he's
It's
like
like
asking
filming the stall.
Yeah. So you just see the stall, and you're like, "I'm going to the bathroom."
Andrew? Andrew? What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Are you peeing? What are you doing? What? I can't hear you. What are you doing? You, what? Say it again, I can't hear you.
How old was I? Like
No.
8?
No, you're like 10 or 11.
Wow.
I was 8.
So he's like, "What
I
are
know.
you doing?"
No, hold on. I remember why Dad did this. That whole day you had been picking on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't
You'd been
remember
picking
that.
on me, so Dad was like, I'm going to cheer Max up and get back at him. He like whispers, and he's like, Max, watch this, watch this. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, he was...
So Dad's recording the song, and he's asking me, like, well, what's taking you so long? Because I'm pooping. I mean, and he's trying to get me to say I'm pooping.
It's always awkward when
Someone's talking to you in the bathroom
while you're trying to take a dump.
So I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. Because I'm 10, so I have a 10-year-old voice. And it's like, well, why is it taking so long? Like, what's going on in there? And I answer, I'm going number 1 and number 2. And that was my answer, and that's when the recording ended, and Dad just died laughing, and I've never been able to live that story down. All the time. Be like, I'm going number 1 and number 2. And here's the thing, in our family is everything that gets quoted distorts slowly and becomes Mickey Mouse's voice.
That's true.
Everything.
Everything.
So a recording of her stepmom that says, hey, do you like my toe rings? Has now, like my toe rings?
I don't know why. She didn't sound like that.
She never sounded like that. So now it's devolved into, I'm going number 1 and number 2. And it's like, yeah, that was that was funny.
Good times.
Well, do you remember? My favorite area in the park for Disneyland is Tomorrowland. I mean, the atmosphere of Disneyland is so amazing to me. You walk in, and there's music everywhere, so you feel like the whole time you feel like you are in a movie. You're in some sort of movie or some sort of magical place, and it plays this very
Uplifting music.
If you're in Tomorrowland, it's like very futuristic, sci-fi-ish, and they just go all out. There's a trash can that drives around that's a robot,
Oh, the trash can.
and it's like, hello, my name is Push, because it says Push on its little thing, and it will talk to kids and stuff and have them throw garbage away.
It's literally just a guy, though, following there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
guy who follows this trash can around, dressed.
We can't spoil the secret. So
This
there's
is
a guy.
jam talk.
Yeah, there's a guy in a suit with a briefcase, and he controls the robot.
He
with
wasn't
the
wearing.
briefcase.
He was disguised as like a tourist.
No, well, when I was there, he was a businessman.
Oh, really?
He looked like a businessman with a briefcase walking around, and he had a microphone on his arm, and so he would talk, and he would stand, 30 yards back. So I'm assuming he has a microphone on the robot, so he can hear what people are saying.
A
to him.
microphone and like a remote or something.
Yeah, so it's all remote control. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but he just like sits there like this, so you can't tell because he's just leaning up against his arm.
Yeah. Yeah. And Disneyland is a good.
That'd be a cool job to have. I would love
to drive around a robot.
a robot trash can.
Trash can, of all things. Yeah.
That's the best janitor job, man.
That is the best janitor job.
Everyone just throws it away for you. You just ask them to throw it away, and people are like, "Oh, you're a robot." Okay.
So we can't end this Jam Talk episode without talking about California Adventures, which kind of molded. Disneyland and California Adventures are like one park, basically. They're
like 50 feet away from each other.
Yeah, I don't know. It's bigger than that, but not really. And in California Adventures, I mean, we love all the rides there. They've got the Grizzly River Run, the Rapids ride, where Chloe, our sister, we would go, and Dad wanted everybody to be able to ride on the ride, but there's a height limit for the rides.
Oh,
And
yes.
so we would do things like we would all spike our hair. We'd all have spiked hair, all the boys, and the girls, which was just
They'd have their hair in like a bun.
So she'd have her hair in a
or
bun.
in a ponytail that would like come
Stick up.
way up here.
Yes. So they'd have their hair in a bun and wear platform shoes, so that they were a couple inches taller and could
Totally safe.
totally meet the rides. 'Cause it's like, why not? This is what having fun's all about, man.
Oh, okay.
And so we got on to rides that she was just barely too short to get onto. That the workers were like, some of the workers were like, no, we got to do it from the head, and then some were like,
What
Come
the
on
heck?
through. Yeah, go on through, man. You've worked hard.
You've earned it.
You've earned it.
I see you. You tried.
Yeah. So we would do that, and then one of the peak rides at California Adventures is
California Screaming, right?
I was gonna say soaring. California Screaming is really good.
Oh, well, I don't know. I got a story I got to share about California Screaming.
Okay.
So we're doing this height thing, so I'm clearly not actually tall enough to ride this ride. My first time riding. Worst experience ever.
Oh, my first time riding was the worst experience ever too.
Okay, so tell me if this happened to you.
Okay.
So I'm on the ride, and because I'm so short, the things that come over your head, they're like,
It's like huge.
and so when you're moving, your head just goes.
Yes, exactly. So it starts, and the thing about that ride is it pauses right before, and some of the roller coasters have speakers, some of them don't.
And it blasts into your ears too.
Well, the
sometimes.
speakers are playing music that goes along with the ride, like you're going up and it's like, it makes sense. But then the first one I went on didn't have working speakers for some reason.
What? So you're just getting like destroyed with your head?
Well, first off, it counts down at the very beginning. Like you come out of the getting on
You
ride.
don't know what the countdown.
And it's like, it stops. And so regularly on the ride, it counts down. It's like 10, 9, 8, and then it will take off.
No!
So I'm like,
Your head's like forward, isn't it?
I'm like yes, exactly.
Oh, God.
This is my first time riding. I'm like looking around in this like giant thing, so I'm like peeking out, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool ride. I'm like, I can see the water, and I'm looking over at Mom, and I'm like, da-da-da-da-da, and then, and my head goes, good, and then my head proceeded to be a ping pong ball the entire ride.
Go
Just
back
like,
and then.
For
For me, I just had a huge major headache because there's music blasting in my ears while my head's getting thrown back and forth.
At least you could prepare for that takeoff, bro.
That's true.
You're just like, and then you go upside down, and that was like one of the first. I think that's the first ride I went upside down on, and I'm like, whoa! And
You don't even really know you're going upside down, though.
well, I'm so small that I press
you
up
lift
against
up.
that. I lift up. I'm like,
I think that happened to me one time.
and
too.
it's fun. It's all good fun. I loved it.
It's fun, except you have a huge major headache afterwards.
Yeah. Well, after the first time, you prepare yourself and hold your head back. And
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did too.
You're
I'm
like,
like,
okay, I'm
"All
ready
right,
this time.
I'm ready. Your whole goal that time is just to keep your head back,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
then you have more stability.
Oh my goodness, this is great. Disneyland is awesome. We need to go back. That's what we need.
What were you gonna say about Soarin'?
Well, Soaring over California is an awesome ride, mostly because of Patrick Warburton, who gives you the tour beforehand. He's like, "Hello, I'm Patrick Warburton, and I'll be your flight attendant for today."
That was Warbird.
Warburg?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Have I been pronouncing his name wrong in my life?
I don't know. We're gonna look that up and add the thing in post. We'll overdub it so that neither of us made a mistake. We'll actually just cut this part out.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
You're gonna live with your mistake.
Yeah, we're gonna live with these
I'm
mistakes.
editing this.
So he's like telling you to take off your hats and put them in the
Under compartment for the ride, and he's like, this includes hats, baseball caps, and of course, these little beauties.
And it's the
And
mouse
it's like
ears.
the mouse ears, and he takes it off the head of some bald guy, like puts it in. It's too great. Like he's just so funny.
And then the ride is a great experience. You're in this it's a dome screen, and so
And
you
it
can
throws like scents at you, so you can
Yeah,
smell
it shoots smells out. So you're flying over an orange field, and you can smell the orange.
It smells so good. That's my favorite part of the ride.
Yeah.
I hate the golf ball though. That comes at you. It's super loud.
Yeah. Well, This
It
episode-
needs an update, but
this episode of Jam Talk has been great. I mean, reminiscing about Disneyland is super fun. I feel like
long
everybody,
episode, but worth it.
everybody should get a chance to go, for sure. I at least once, and it's expensive, but seriously,
You
the
get your
saying-
money's worth.
The saying is true. You get what you pay for, except for food.
Just bring your own food. Honestly.
You can't bring your own food into
Well,
the park.
So what I would do is we would go when I went with our uncle. We would go back to the hotel and eat
Right.
like KFC,
Right. Get your fill of
That's
McDonald's
okay.
pancakes. That's what
Kentucky
we did.
Fried Chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some authentic Disneyland food.
That's right.
All right.
Damn right.
Well, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, like if you like. Share if you care.
And subscribe for more awesomeness. See you guys next time.